When a company decides to cross an ocean and open a new market, the ambition is entirely unified. But the moment revenue starts flowing in two different jurisdictions, the underlying financial infrastructure tends to crack under the pressure. Expanding a business relies on speed and borderless strategy, yet the reality of execution often means hitting a wall of strictly localized tax codes, disconnected banking portals, and isolated compliance silos. This friction multiplies in the highly complex corridor between the UK and India. Companies usually patch the problem by hiring separate, disconnected agencies in each country, quickly losing oversight as their financial data is split across entirely different regulatory frameworks. To fix this, we look at the Payline platform interface. Here we see the central proposition: scale without borders, succeed without limits. This platform moves companies away from fragmented, local tools and into a single ecosystem designed explicitly for the UK and India. Payline defines this approach as full-stack financial operations. Instead of treating accounting, payroll, and tax as separate chores outsourced to different vendors, they are engineered into one continuous, synchronized cycle. A business cannot safely scale across continents while relying on a patchwork of local administrators. It requires a unified financial engine that processes both markets simultaneously. Managing two sets of national books requires deep, localized expertise in both the UK and India, fused by a single operational layer. Looking at Payline's dashboard, we start with the first operational layer, accounting. The platform positions this as your virtual finance team, taking over end-to-end financial management. For UK operations, it manages Xero and QuickBooks integrations, alongside MTD-compliant VAT returns. MTD stands for Making Tax Digital, a strict UK government initiative requiring businesses to keep purely digital tax records. Simultaneously, the system solves equivalent complexities in India. As seen on this services card, it manages GST filing, India's centralized goods and services tax, as well as TDS compliance, which dictates how tax must be deducted directly at the source of a payment. Moving to the second operational layer, we see the payroll tab. Statutory compliance here carries incredibly high stakes, as small calculation errors can result in immediate department notices and legal friction. The platform processes UK payroll mandates with perfect accuracy. It covers PAY, which ensures tax is paid exactly as you earn, alongside RTI, meaning employers report this payroll data to the government in real time, and mandatory auto-enrollment pensions. At the exact same time, it adheres to Indian labor laws. This includes PS, the Mandatory Provident Fund for Retirement, and ESI, which provides employee state healthcare insurance, all while ensuring compliance with the massive regulatory overhaul of India's new wage code. By centralizing accounting and payroll, leadership eliminates the blind spots that occur when data is handed off between borders. The numbers are visible, reconciled, and compliant in one place. With daily administration secured, a business can stop reacting to local paperwork and start actively optimizing its global structure. This brings us to the third layer of the stack, shown here in the advisory interface. Payline steps out of the bookkeeping role and provides strategic, CFO-level guidance. This advisory layer focuses on structural health. It actively designs internal controls, manages complex correspondence with HMRC, the UK's tax authority, and implements the right software architecture to ensure the company's financial planning can actually support its growth rate. The foundation of all this is the final layer, compliance. This interface promises an audit-ready, always state. Achieving this requires absolute mastery of two distinct frameworks. The platform maintains compliance with UK GAAP, the generally accepted accounting practice standard, and companies' house filings, while simultaneously satisfying India's distinct income tax and statutory requirements. Because all four layers are integrated, Payline can offer an end-to-end company setup. Looking at this service grid, a business can deploy full accounting, payroll, and advisory infrastructure in both the UK and India from day one. Replacing reactive, highly fragmented compliance with a proactive, centralized advisory stack turns a notoriously risky dual market expansion into a secure, predictable operation. The mechanics of this platform are highly technical, but the real-world result is operational freedom. We can see this methodology validated in their platform's Global Growth Stories section. These case studies document exactly how companies navigate international standards and multi-currency payroll by relying on a unified system. When leadership is no longer diverted by localized administration, checking separate national portals and reconciling different time zones, resources can shift back toward the core strategy of building the business. The value proposition, highlighted right here on the interface, is comprehensive coverage, one partner delivering complete oversight across two massively complex economies. Businesses are built to grow. The infrastructure supporting them has to allow for that acceleration without hitting a ceiling of administrative friction. Payline integrates every compliance layer into a single platform, functioning as a unified financial engine for the UK-India corridor. This allows for cross-border expansion that is governed by data, not by the friction of local paperwork.